I'm Jim Hummel. Another year is just about in the books, but before we turn the page to 2018, we have a handful of updates on this year's Hummel Report investigations. We begin with a DOT construction project that had many motorists dodging orange barrels on the way to Green Airport. This was the scene for most of the past 2 summers. A sea of orange barrels and Jersey barriers greeting those trying to get into and out of Green Airport. In November, we asked DOT Director Peter Alviti why it seemed that for long stretches of time, no one was actually working in the work zone. The answer? The construction crew was miles away on Route 2, fixing 4 other bridges as part of the same project. Alviti admitted the department should probably rethink bundling so many projects under one bid and have a high visibility road limited by orange barrels for such a long period of time. The good news is the work for the winter season is over. This is how the eastbound and westbound lanes looked this week. Smooth sailing over 2 repaired bridges. The DOT tells us that crews will be back for some residual work in the spring, and the project will be fully completed and on schedule in May. In October, we told you about one woman's ongoing efforts to secure a permanent mooring in a popular cove in North Kingstown. Well, now she's hired an attorney. Sunny Albanese's 32-foot powerboat was one of the few left in the water late last month, as she is still battling to get a permanent mooring in Mill Cove. The commercial mooring she had been on for 2 years was pulled by marina owner Barry Gross 5 days before she was scheduled to begin using it in 2016. Since then, with nowhere else to go, she has used 2 anchors to secure her boat. That has led to a thorny series of events involving the town, which passed an ordinance and has fined her tens of thousands of dollars for anchoring in the federal waterway. She has an application pending before the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, which oversees federal waters, to give her a mooring. In the meantime, Albanese has hired a lawyer who is fighting the town's tickets in Superior Court. Andy has filed a libel suit on her behalf against Gross, the marina owner, for sending a letter to the town council in early 2016 saying that Albanese's, quote, excessive drinking was the reason he took her mooring away. Albanese is using a slip at nearby Wickford Marina for the winter while her lawsuit plays out. The Department of Transportation has finally put the wraps on a $71 million project to realign the traffic pattern in Apponaug. Well, now we're going to see if what engineers envisioned years ago actually becomes a reality in 2018. It has been a rough ride in Apponaug during the construction period, sometimes literally, as the Warwick Police Department reported more than 100 accidents after the initial phase opened a year ago, with motorists still trying to figure out how to negotiate the series of 5 rotaries. Traffic backups were a common sight as crews continued to work through the summer on paving, landscaping, and signage. The DOT tells the Hummel Report the project is largely finished, with only some minor punch list items remaining for the spring. So these next several months will show whether the traffic issues are construction related or a structural engineering problem. And finally, an update to one of our Rhode Island Spotlight stories, which focuses on a program to help financially challenged families provide clothing for their school-age students. Our story directly led to an increase in donations. Close to Kids RI was the brainchild of former state prosecutor and Board of Higher Education chairwoman Eva-Marie Mancuso and her longtime friend Mary Ann Baldwin. Their nonprofit has provided wardrobes for thousands of students who might not otherwise be able to afford them. The clothes are a combination of donations and purchases. Mancuso reports that after our story ran in October, they received $2,000 in cash donations, 600 pairs of socks and underwear, and more than a dozen new volunteers. We appreciate your support over the last 12 months, and we look forward to another banner year in 2018. Help us along the way by sending your tips and story ideas to jim@hummelreport.org.